All right, everyone, buckle up because get this. AP, Computer Science A, is getting a total, like, complete makeover. And let me tell you, some of these changes are, well, they're pretty wild. We're talking ditching some, like, really old school stuff and instead bringing in skills you'd actually use in the real world.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking about wrangling data and even getting a little taste of AI.
That's exciting stuff.
It really is. So in this deep dive, we're going to break down all the juicy details of this AP overhaul. We got our hands on the official announcements from the College Board, so you know we're coming at you with the facts. No speculation here.
And what's actually really interesting is that, like, these changes, they're not just coming out of nowhere. The College Board did a ton of research, a really deep dive themselves, actually. They were looking at what's actually being taught in introductory computer science courses at the college level.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they really want to make sure that this AP course is setting students up for success no matter what, whether they're, heading to like MIT or Stanford or just want a really solid foundation in computer science in general.
So instead of throwing you into, like, programming boot camp,
Mm-hmm.
they're giving you a leg up with the stuff that actually matters most these days.
Exactly. It's about making sure that what you learn in AP Computer Science A is actually aligned with what's happening in the real world of tech, which, let's be honest,
Oh, yeah.
moves super fast.
Yeah. Wicked fast. Okay, so for anyone who has ever struggled with, and I'm sure there are a few of you out there, the dreaded inheritance unit in AP Computer Science A.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, you'll be thrilled to know it's getting the boot.
Yeah, it's out of there.
I can practically hear the sighs of relief from here. But seriously, why the change?
Well, basically, the College Board found that while, yeah, inheritance is definitely still a fundamental concept in programming, it's not always like a core focus in those intro college courses anymore. So they're making space for, well, for stuff that's more immediately relevant.
Which makes sense, right? It's like, I don't know, learning to drive a stick shift when everyone's already cruising around in, like, a Tesla. Useful to know, maybe.
I bet.
Not essential, exactly.
Oh.
Okay, but before we get too far, let's rewind a bit for those who might be new to this whole AP Computer Science A thing. So we're talking about a course designed to give high schoolers, like, a little preview of college-level computer science. And with these changes, it really seems like they're serious about making it a real-world experience.
For sure.
So what are some of the big-ticket items on this this AP Computer Science A makeover list?
Well, one of the, I think, most exciting additions has got to be the focus on, like, text files and data sets.
Okay, so what does that even mean for someone who's not, like a hardcore data scientist?
Yeah, so it basically means you're going to be learning how to work with information in a way that's, like, insanely valuable these days. Like, imagine being able to just download this massive data set, right? Like a ton of customer reviews, and then using code to figure out like what features people love the most, or maybe what issues they're like complaining about. That's data wrangling in action.
So it's like being I don't know, like a digital detective.
Oh, yeah.
But instead of solving crimes, you're unlocking insights from data.
Exactly. And this isn't just for like, tech jobs anymore. It's whether you're going into marketing, finance, healthcare, I mean, just about any field. Being able to analyze data is like a superpower.
It's like they always say, data is the new oil or something.
There you go.
Right.
And speaking of hot topics, they're also adding a whole section on, get this, artificial intelligence.
Wait, AI. In AP Computer Science A. That's huge.
It's a big deal, and it shows just how important it is, I think, for everyone to at least have like a basic grasp of AI these days, even if you're, not planning on becoming like, an AI specialist or anything.
Right. Yeah, it's like AI is everywhere you look these days. It's from those chatbots that, answer your questions online to like the algorithms that recommend, your next favorite song. It's kind of mind-blowing.
Absolutely. Yeah. And just having that basic understanding of how AI works, what you can do with it, its potential, and even, honestly, like, its limitations, that's going to be, I think, pretty essential for, for just navigating the future, really, no matter what you end up doing.
Yeah, for sure. It's like learning the ABCs of the future or something like that.
Yeah.
So we've got data skills, AI basics. They ditched the dreaded inheritance unit.
So glad they did that.
Right.
Yeah.
What about the exam itself? Are they giving that a makeover too?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And it's not just about, like, making the questions harder or anything like that. They're really changing how they're testing you, which I think it's interesting.
Okay, so less like memorizing facts and more about actually using what you learn.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, for example, they're adding more multiple choice questions, which I know might sound scarier at first,
Right.
but they're actually giving you fewer answer choices for each one.
Interesting. So it's more about applying your knowledge than just trying to remember some, obscure fact.
Exactly. You got it. And they're also shortening the free response questions, which, those are those longer, more open-ended ones, and they're putting less emphasis on arrays.
So it's all about making the exam like truly reflective of what students are actually learning in the course
Yeah.
and what skills they'll actually use.
Exactly. It's about testing your ability to think critically, solve problems, apply your knowledge in like a practical way.
Which, honestly, let's be honest, way more useful in the real world than, just being able to spit back
Oh,
facts.
for sure.
And speaking of like practical application, remember how we were talking about those data sets?
Hmm.
They're even tweaking the free response section to like focus more on array lists.
Yes, absolutely. It's all about connecting the dots between those core concepts and the tools that like you'd actually be using to work with data in the real world.
So it's not just theoretical knowledge. It's about, getting your hands dirty, actually using the tools.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's what makes these changes so, I think, significant. It's not just about, tweaking the curriculum a little bit. It's about really, I think, trying to prepare students for a future where technology and especially skills like, data analysis, AI, that's going to be central to, I think, pretty much everything.
Yeah, it's like they're future-proofing this course, basically.
Exactly.
So for anyone listening who's, maybe thinking about taking AP Computer Science A, or maybe, I don't know, you're a parent and your kid, is thinking about it, what's the big takeaway here?
Honestly, I think the biggest takeaway is that this isn't just about, this one exam or even this one course. It's like it's part of this much bigger shift in how we even think about computer science education as a whole.
Yeah.
Like this stuff, it's not just for, those kids who want to be programmers or whatever. Like these are skills that are becoming honestly essential across industries, across like fields. I don't even know. It's hard to think of something where it won't be helpful, honestly.
It's like that saying, like, coding is the new literacy.
Exactly. And just like you don't have to be, like a novelist to appreciate a good book. You don't have to be a software engineer to understand, I think, the power of computer
Mhm.
science and how it can be used.
Yeah, that's a good point. So true. So to wrap things up, what would you say to someone who's maybe like listening to all this and they're a little intimidated?
Right.
Like all this talk about data sets and AI and like, oh my gosh, the future, what would you say to that person?
Honestly, I think I would just say, don't be afraid to, dive in. Dive in and explore. Like, start with what are you passionate about already? Like, I don't know, are you obsessed with music? Okay, well, look into how AI is being used to create new sounds, new genres. Are you more interested in healthcare? Okay, well, research how data analysis is helping doctors, diagnose diseases earlier. Like, the possibilities they're kind of endless. And the most important step is honestly just taking that first one, just being curious and seeing where it leads you.
Yeah, I love that. Just embrace that curiosity.
Yeah. Exactly, exactly.
Well, there you have it, folks. Your deep dive into the totally revamped world of AP Computer Science A. And honestly, I think a little glimpse into the crazy, exciting future of tech in general.
Yeah, for sure. And who knows, maybe we even inspired a few future computer scientists out there.
You never know. Until next time, everyone, keep those curiosity gears turning.